Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen to part 2 of our doubleheader on Tuesdays. We are here for All the Dirt Super Late Model Series live from the Bullring in Las Vegas. My first time at this track. I'm pretty excited to see how these guys handle it. It looks like we got a nice wide racing surface, but I have noticed some of the guys getting pretty loose coming out of the corners as we see them bobbling. They're coming to the start-finish line. Track temp is a pretty cool 85 degrees. They will have to pit for fuel at least once tonight. We did have a slight hiccup in the race setup, so they do have an unlimited amount of tires over the wall. So they can pit for tires every caution. Hopefully we only have a couple of those. Ben Morrow currently is setting our quickest time in practice at a 14:63. Larson Parker right behind him. Bad Brad Stefan currently third on the leaderboard. Travis Lepenis in fourth, and Michael Steele, last week's race winner, currently in fifth. So we do a little different setup tonight. I am helping out with race control, so if I do go radio silent for a couple minutes, that is why. Oh, we got Ben Morrow upside down in the tire barrier. Alright, we got just a couple minutes left before we get ready to qualify. Let's go over the point standings coming into tonight. Alright, so let's find our standings. Alright, coming into tonight overall, we got Ben Morrow with 188 points. Michael Steele is in second with 178. Ben Morrow leads the Southern Championship Series with 99. Larson Parker leads the West Coast Series with 53, and Larson also leads the North Carolina State with 53. Tonight is part of the West Coast Championship. Travis Lepenis is in second in the West Coast, followed by Ben Morrow and Michael Steele fourth, Devin Smith in fifth. So it'll be pretty exciting to see how these different championships turn out. Larson Parker does take over quick time. Alright, we are getting ready to go to qualifying. 29 seconds. I'm pretty excited to see how Larson Parker handles the transition. Ben Morrow looked like he's trying to dirt track it around this track tonight. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We're getting ready to go qualifying. Ben Morrow looks to be one of the first cars out on the track. Get a little better view of that number 13 machine. Coming out of turn number 4 to start his first lap. $14.80 for Mr. Morrow's first lap around. Into the wall. Devin Smith in that number 95 machine out, trying to set down some quick times. Appreciate Devin running all the dirt decal on the back of his machine for us. Bad Brad Stefan jumps to the top of the leaderboard with a 14.75. Ooh, Devin Smith gets real loose coming out of turn number 4. Larson Parker vaults to the top of the leaderboard with a 14.44. Devin Smith's second lap. He regains it. He gets a 14.72. Good enough for a P number 2 currently. Matt Cochran entering his car, getting ready to jump out there. Lepenis, Kraus, Steele, and Harrell have not set down any lap times yet. Looks like they might be opting to start in the back. Oh, here we go. That number 16 machine of Travis Lepenis out on the track. Cochran loops it on his second lap. Going around the track backwards. Travis Lepenis in that number 16 machine. He's going to jump up to P number 2 with a 14.51. Cochran spending more time going backwards than he did straight. Alright, if you are watching on YouTube, you do have to subscribe if you want to chat with us. If you're watching on Facebook and or Twitch, just go ahead and give us a chat and tell us who you're rooting for tonight. Alright, starting on the front row, Parker and Lepenis. Row number 2, we got Smith and Bad Brad Stefan. Row number 3, Morrow and Setzer. Row number 4, we got Cochran and Kraus. Row number 5, Steele and Harrell. Strategy worked last night, or last week for Michael Steele. Let's see how it does for him tonight. Lights are off on the pace car. We'll be going green next time by. Coming out of turn number 4, the 18 is going to set the pace. Green flag is in the air. Ooh, Larson Parker blinks out for quite a bit.
Caution somewhere. Caution.
Caution is out. Caution is on the 13. Everybody. Lee Kraus and the 95 of Devin Smith are going to take over the front row. Lepenis, Parker, Setzer, Stefan, and Morrow all pit. Devin Smith's going to lead us out of turn number 4 as we get ready to go green.
Ready. Green flag.
Lee Kraus on that high side. Ooh, Smith gets a little loose, a little tire spin. Still side by side as they exit into turn number 3. Smith and Kraus now nose to tail. They're backed up behind him though, too wide. Matt Cochran slowing off the pace. Harold moves up to turn number 3.
How was your forward drive there towards the end of that?
Looks like another batch of cars have come down pit road. All right, 2 cautions in. We're on lap number 11. We'll see if some of these boys can get a rhythm going. Lights are off on the pace car coming out of turn number 4. Refiring as we get to the cone. Good jump by the 95 and 99. 16 of Travis LePain's really good jump. Trying to keep it close as we go down the back straightaway. See a couple cars bobbling.
Yeah, they're about.
Hard hit by Lee. Kraus got loose coming out of the corner. Collects the 16. Heavy front end damage to that number 16 machine. We'll see if Travis dips down pit road to repair it or if he's gonna let it ride. The top, well, Travis has pit once. Devin Smith so far is the only car that has not pit. Devin races in several of our series here at the EFRL. If you're looking for a place to race, we got racing 3 nights a week currently. We do have a doubleheader on Tuesday, so it's basically 4 nights of racing. We have the FALCONGRAFIX late model stocks early in the evening, and then all the dirt super late models. On Thursday night, we got dirt cars, the 360 sprint cars and the UMP B mods. On Mondays, we are just wrapping up our Xfinity series, brought to you by Transcendent Designs. Just a couple races left there. And some new interesting stuff going to happen after the first of the year. Pace car dips off. We get a restart with Lapinus and Smith on the front row. Larson Parker, Brad Stefan behind them.
Green flag.
Good jump by the 16 on that high line. Ooh, the 89 delivers a hard shot to Devin Smith. Able to keep it going straight. Travis Lepanis in that number 16 machine, even with that damage, has taken over the lead. Larson Parker and Brad Stefan.
Caution. Kind of talk me.
Brad Stefan in that 89 machine down low. Ooh, hard hit with the number 9. Four cautions in, we're only at lap 21. '99 of Lee Krause, heavy damage to him. It looks like he's probably going to be done for the night. Unfortunately, he had such a great race going on in the late model stocks, and nothing that he did on that one. Just got wrong place, wrong time. All right, we're gonna swap the front row positions, and we're gonna get going here at Green Flag Racing once again. We'll see how the 95 handles that outside. He is the only driver that has yet to pit, so he's got the oldest tires on the field. Outside line gets a good jump. See if he's able to hold on to it and clear that 16 car as we head down the back straightaway, still side by side as we enter into turn number 3. Ben Marl poking his nose in there, looking to see if there's any room. Still side by side for second. We got Marl and Smith. Michael Steele getting up into the fray. Michael was involved in one of the early cautions, not a whole lot of damage, but he unfortunately got tangled up with the number 3 car of Matthew Setzer. Michael is back up to P number 4. Michael is one of the drivers that did not take a qualifying lap, so he is up 5 positions from where he started. Lepanis way up the track. Ben Marl going to take over the lead. Brad Stefan, caution on the field.
Great job, man. We'll keep working on this thing for you. How you doing?
Self-spin by the 89. Doesn't collect anybody. No damage done to the car. All right, we're going to go back green flag racing next time by. Morrow on the bottom, Devin Smith on the high side. Smith has got old tires. He's going to have to be careful not to spin them. Michael Steele starting on the outside of row number 2 with Travis Lepenis on the bottom. Green flag is in the air. Smith gets a good jump going down the front straightaway. They're going to be side by side as they head into turn number 1. See Matt Cochran falling back. I do believe that's a strategy play on his part. Larson Parker making his way back up through the field. He is back up to 3rd. Looking back at the front end of that number 16 machine, the contact he got earlier from when the 99 spun out. Heavy damage to the right front of that machine.
Caution. Guys, just quickly, just remember, nice and smooth, take in fluids, stay by those fans, do what you can to keep.
That one is going to be on the number 6. Tried to cut it down and just got a little loose in front of a couple guys. Not a whole lot of damage done to the vehicle, so hopefully it won't affect them much. We are on our 6th caution already, lap 38. 90 laps to go. Larson Parker back up into P number 3. Devin Smith, the only car who has not pitted yet. Ben Morrow currently on the point with that number 13 machine. Stefan back down pit road along with Setzer. Ben Morrow has set the quickest time so far with a 14:67, quite a bit slower than they are running in qualifying and in practice. But we really haven't had a chance to let these tires get heated up and get some cycles on them. Hi Marcy, how you doing tonight? Michael is currently running in 5th place. Base car is off. We're getting ready to go green. Brad Stefan coming out of the pits, catching back up to the field.
Green.
Green flag is in the air. Looking out the back bumper of Devin Smith's car. He's running on the high side right behind Larson Parker. Matthew Setzer has spun out, but he keeps going, gets it backfired, rolling again, no caution. Larson Parker trying to reel in that number 13 machine. Almost identical lap times last time by. Sun starting to set might affect the drivers just a little bit as they enter into turn number 3. Ben Morrow looks pretty strong here tonight. Last time by Larson Parker was just a couple ticks faster. Both drivers pit on lap 3, so they're working with the exact same equipment. They have built up quite a bit of a gap over the 3rd place of Devin Smith, who is still running on older tires and will need to pit for fuel before the end of this race. Travis Lapine is currently running in 4th. Got a fairly big cushion over Michael Steele in 5th. Michael Steele just being Mr. Consistent, keeping that car nice and clean to be there at the end. Bad Brad Stefani got some heavy damage to the front end of that machine, but it doesn't look like it's slowing him down too much. Brad is back up to 6th place. Matt Cochran currently running in 7th. In 8th, we got the number 6 machine of Sean Harrell. Matthew Setzer, after spinning early, heavy front end damage to that machine. He's about to go a lap down to Morrow and Parker. Parker and Morrow almost identical lap times still. Travis Lapine is looking to get underneath that number 95 machine, making a bid for 3rd place. Michael Steele liking to see these guys battle side by side. That'll help him close in. Side by side once again. Michael Steele right there now, right behind Travis Lapine. Travis is unable to complete the pass. Devin Smith with those older tires is holding on fairly good on that high line. Michael Steele looking to take 4th place away from him now. Seven-second gap from the 5th place car back to the 6th place car of Matt Cochran. Morrow and Parker have put the number 3 car of Matthew Setzer a lap down. Setzer up into the wall, seeing the dust up. Jump on board with Michael Steele here for a couple laps as he's trying to chase down that number 16 machine. Travis and Michael are going to be coming up on that lap car of Matthew Setzer here pretty quick. See Michael being nice and smooth on the throttle. Morrow and Larson now putting the 6th car lap down, about to lap Matt Cochran as well. The leaders have fallen off almost half a second from their fastest times. Matt Cochran moving over and letting the leaders go by, not trying to interrupt their race. Travis Lepanis holding on to a slight edge over the number 5 machine of Michael Steele. Lap cars could play a portion of that if they decide to fight Travis a little bit. We are halfway through this race. Once we got by those first opening cautions, these guys have went now about 40 laps caution free. The 6 of Harold moves over and lets Travis and Michael go. Oh, we got Matt Cochran and Brad Stefane battling pretty hard up here in front of our third and fourth place drivers. They're fighting over that lucky dog position if the caution does come out. A little radio chatter. We hear Matt apologizing to Travis. Five cars left on the lead lap, 50 laps to go. Morrow has added a little bit of padding to his lead over Larson Parker. Last time by, Morrow was 2/10 faster. Larson Parker now just a second off of the pace. He got real squirrely coming out of turn number 3. Travis Lepanis and Michael Steele still running pretty close to each other. Holding on to 3rd and 4th place. Got a pretty big gap between them and 5th. Almost a half a lap. Michael got his first asphalt win last week. Looking pretty solid here tonight, running in 4th place, really smooth. Oh, and as I say it, he gets a little loose coming out of the corner. Back up front, Morrow has expanded his lead a little more. Looks like Brad Stefane spun out and has jumped to the pits, no caution there. Ben working that throttle as he continues to lead. We're 83 laps in. Looks like that 18 machine does have some front end damage. You can see the tires sticking out through the fender well. Just see Larson fighting that wheel inside that number 18 machine. Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. Always appreciated. We are live from the Bullring in Las Vegas for the All the Dirt Super Late Model Series. Currently, Ben Morrow is our race leader over Larson Parker. Ben has got just a little over a second lead over that number 18 machine. If you are looking for some cool merch of one of your favorite race drivers from the EFRL, check out our merch store. We got some championship gear in there from our past championships for the Dirt Car Series. We got some shirts for all the dirt and Extreme Forces Racing League. Every little bit goes to help the stream. Check that out. We got some cups. We got some stickers, different things like that. Check it out. Matthew Setzer passes Matt Cochran for that lucky dog position. 35 laps to go. Steele and LePain is still nose to tail, currently in third and fourth. If you are looking to have a race broadcasted, contact myself, Mick Olofsson, at All the Dirt on Facebook. We can hook you up. Right now, I do believe we have an open night. So get a hold of us and we'll see what we can make happen. Reasonable prices. We broadcast currently right now 2 nights a week. We do doubleheaders on Tuesdays and all the Dirt Car Series on Thursdays. Michael Steele getting a little aggressive right on the back bumper of that number 16 machine. Closest race on the track right now, 4 position. Larson Parker has closed the gap on the leader ever so slightly. Might have just been a ploy to save tires for late in the race run. Steele and LePain identical lap times last time by 15:29. Devin Smith still holding on to that 5th place. He has not pit yet. A lot of respect between these two drivers. Michael is probably one of the cleanest drivers around, so we know he won't bump and run. That's not how Michael races, and Travis is another one. Ooh, Travis gets a little bobble and looked like both drivers might have brushed the wall going down the front straightaway. Larson Parker has closed the gap on the leader. It was down to just 0.7 seconds. 24 laps to go. Look out the back bumper of Ben Morrow's car and we can see how close that 18 machine is getting. Larson Parker coming on strong with about 20 laps to go. Half a second now. Larson Parker getting ever so close to lap by lap. We are going to be coming up on a couple more lap cars. Number 6 of Harrell. Larson Parker right on the back bumper of Ben Morrow. Parker looking down low as they exit turn number 2 and head into turn number 3. Leader's touch. Larson Parker does take over the lead. Wasn't the cleanest pass out there, that's for sure. 15 laps to go. Travis does have a little bit of a gap over 4th place Michael Steele, but not a lot of breathing room. Ben Morrow is falling back. Larson Parker's lap times right now is a 15:25 compared to a 15:53 by Morrow. Travis Lopanis did have one of the fastest laps that time. Why with a 15:15? Devin Smith still has not pit for fuel. Number 5 car, 95 car might be holding out. Larson Parker continuing to lead late in the race.
Yellow's out.
The yellow flag is out. Matt Cochran has crashed.
Get more acclimated to it, or is it still difficult?
Cochran spins out, jumps to the pits, but not quick enough before he brought out the caution. That's going to bunch them all back up front. We'll see if anybody jumps into the pits. We'll see. Larson Parker, Ben Morrow, Travis Lopanis, Michael Steele, and Devin Smith, top 5. Matthew Sitz are going to get that wave around. That'll bring him around the field, put him in P number 6. Top 4 drivers do pit. Kind of an interesting move by Larson Parker, who did get penalized last week after trying to pull some shenanigans in the pits when we didn't have race control. Ben Morrow beat Larson Parker out on the pits. Ben Morrow regains the lead, does have fresh tires the way it looks. This is going to be a late race shootout. Pace car's off. We're going to be going green with 5 laps to go.
Green flag.
Green flag is in the air. 13 is going to get a good jump. Larson Parker in second. Travis Lepenis in third. Four laps to go. Ben Marl's holding on to the lead. Fresh tires underneath that 13 machine has helped out quite a bit. Larson Parker trying to close the gap as they cross the stripe. 2 laps to go. Lepenis and Steele third and fourth. Ben Morrow 1 lap to go, still holding on to that lead. Larson Parker right on his back bumper, looking to the inside as we come out of the back straightaway. Parker's going to send it down in there hard. 13 car loses control up into the wall. Larson Parker wins. Ben Morrow wrecking, holds on to second place. Travis Lepenis in third. All right, we'll give these gentlemen just a minute to get up into the booth. All right, we got our third place finisher tonight. Travis Lepenis on that number 16 machine was able to hold off the 5 of Michael Steele late in the race, bringing home that Ford Mustang in third. How you doing, Travis?
It's another third.
They're not all bad, you know.
It was a struggle. It was tough track, tough to pass on. It was kind of a complicated game because you'd be playing with brake bias and it's loose coming in, but you need more rear to help a turn. So then all of a sudden you put more rear in, and the car gets loose. You put too much front in, and you start sliding up the front end. It was a tough break. At least for me, it was tough on brakes.
I bet you it was. You and Michael had a pretty good battle there for most of the race. You were nose to tail. I put the pressure on you a couple times, but just wasn't able to get a good run to make a pass.
Yeah, it was that part of the race where it was like if it was earlier, I would have just let him go. But it's the guys were kind of inciting that to make sure my track position was good, especially with that late pit stop. Held him off for a little and then pulled away a little. So yeah, give and take a bit, I guess. I gave him the easy pass yesterday when he was last week when he was way faster than me. So
You did have some pretty fast laps there in the later stages of that race, even with the older tires. You were setting down some of the quicker times, almost identical to the leader, if not faster in some points.
yeah, unfortunately, a track that tough. I don't know. What do you do with that type of track position?
Yeah, exactly. When you guys pit late in race, did you take 2 tires or 4?
I took 2. I knew that was late enough there. Like if you sat there and got 4, even though there was only 5 cars on the lead lap, if you ended up 5th with that few laps, the chances of you ending that way were pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's nice seeing that Ford Mustang back on the podium again. You know, they add up at the end, so you're going to be there at the points battle, so that's important.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do? It's almost always us 3.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations on your 3rd place finish. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Team JTD, all the guys. I mean, there's a lot of those. That top 4 is in house. Larson Parker is with us. Ben Morrow's with us. Obviously, Mike Steele and myself. So, yeah, we like the supers. What do you say?
They're fun cars. I like them a lot. All right, bud. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you back next week.
All right, we'll see you on the Dirt Thursday, and then next week, wherever the heck we are on Tuesday.
All right, bud. We'll see you then.
Ciao. Have a good week.
All right, we're going to grab our 2nd place finisher, that number 13 machine of Ben Morrow. Hey, Ben, this is Mick up in the booth, bud. How you doing?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Not too bad. You led a lion's share of the laps tonight. Come up just short there at the end. Larson was able to get a nose underneath of you, and it looks like you just got loose trying to put the power to the track.
Yeah, I'm actually back watching that right now. It's funny. I had never run a lap here before I joined the practice session, and I kind of figured this is what's going to happen. Like, I can pick up new tracks and learn the speed really quick, but it takes me 100 laps to learn how to save tire at them and whether it's important to or not. And, like, I took tires at the first yellow that I caused and ran the rest the whole way out. And with about 20 to go, I started pushing real bad on entry. And I don't know whether that was a steering ratio thing or if I could have run the car a little bit differently to save that. But it kind of lines up as to why I was driving away from him for a while. And then he reeled me all back in the last 20 laps. It's just a shame it wasn't a 105 lap race.
Yeah, you were up to almost a 2-second lead there for a little while.
Yeah. The car was working really well, and then it was like you flipped a switch. I guess I overheated the right front. Yeah, and then that last lap, I didn't get through 1 and 2 right, being too nervous looking behind me. And I was like, well, he's to my fender. If I try to pull down in front of him, he's probably not going to lift. And that's the one time I wouldn't blame him for it. So I just sent it in the top and figured the heck with it. If I bounce off the wall, still get second.
And that you did you were wrecking all the way down the front straightaway and still held on to second.
Yeah. And all the way through 1 and 2. Anyways, I tell you what, that was this is a big surprise for this evening, because when I saw the BULLRING on the schedule, I was expecting like one of the little Legends ovals on the front straightaway. You know what I mean?
See, and that's kind of what I thought it was. I had never been here before tonight.
Yeah, I had no idea it was its own dedicated racetrack. Honestly, it's a really fun track to drive. I think if we all would have spent 300 laps in test sessions through the weeks practicing, we could have had a really good clean race here. But it's kind of hard to devote 3 nights a week to practicing for a 1-hour race. It's tough because of how loose they are in the middle of the corner, and more importantly, actually, I'm going to go back here and watch the first lap. So when I first joined this league, it was one of the reasons I joined it was because in another league I run Outlaws, we had just run Phoenix, and I had the best lap times, like best pace in the field, except for maybe one guy, and by the way, it was Josh Balliott, right? But I couldn't make passes happen. Like, guys would be on the bottom and I couldn't get around them. If they stayed on the bottom of the corners, I couldn't do anything with it. And I sort of figured I need to run some short track stuff to learn how to pass whenever the bottom is the only good line. And what I found really quickly is that I was making my lap time in the wrong place. Like, all of my speed I was making up on entry to the corner. You know what I mean? And all that does is hurt your run coming off the corner. And if a guy's in front of you, you can't just send it in here. And I've learned that lesson a couple times, and I learned it again with Stefan there tonight. I do feel pretty bad about that, because he was clearing me, and I was like, I'm on the inside, and I braked where I normally did instead of braking a little bit early because I knew he was going to be in front of me, and then just couldn't get it woed down. Like, if he wasn't there, I would have made the corner. But, you know, when you have two cars nose to tail doing 100 and they both slow down to 60, they're overlapping. It's not like they're still nose to tail. You know, the rear car has to brake a little bit before the front one.
Yep, exactly.
And it's just, at places like this that have these sharp corners, it's really easy to screw that up. That's why I'd said to you in the middle of the race about not carrying any penalties over, because I wasn't worried. I mean, if I would have caused another wreck, I'd have been fine with it. But, you know, it's really hard to, especially if you're in the middle of the pack all the time, it'd be really hard to run 125 laps here without making two mistakes. You know what I mean? And these cars are always hard to drive, but this was exceptionally tough, so I don't think it should be held against anyone for next week or whatever.
Oh no, overall it was a good race. Just a slight misjudge of the closing speed, and maybe, I know one point we were 3 wide and Michael Steele and the 3 car got together, but really that wasn't anything either one of them really did. They just ran out of real estate.
Yeah. Do you know about what lap that was? I wanted to watch that one too.
No, I don't off the top of my head. All right, bud. Well, congratulations on finishing second. Overall, you're still the points leader, but it's going to get pretty close in some of these smaller championships we got going on.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be interesting. I don't, it seemed like all 3 of those championships had one track that I wasn't really sure about. But yeah, I'm having a blast with it so far, so.
All right, bud. Anybody you want to give a shout out to tonight before we cut you loose?
My wonderful wife.
Always got to thank the wives.
Yep.
All right, bud. We'll catch you Thursday night then on the dirt track.
Yep. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, that 18 machine comes home first once again. Larson Parker.
Oh, what's up?
Not much, bud. How you doing?
Tired after that one.
Yeah, you had your work cut out for you. It took you quite a long time to reel that 13 machine back in, but with, 10, 15 to go, you were right on them.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was the only chance I was going to get to save my tires. I saw them overshooting some of the corners, so I just laid back.
A little bit of a jam up on pit road on that last caution. Looks like you guys had some contact on entry of pit road, huh?
Yeah, that was a mess.
And then it looks like he did beat you off just a little bit off of pit road, but you were able to come back on the last lap, make a pass for the win.
Yeah, luckily throughout the race I perfected my crossover line, so I was glad that I could use that on that last or in 1 and 2 there, and then get the run on the back straightaway.
Now you got your fender just inside of him, and then he tried pushing a little too hard on the outside and ended up dirt tracking it through the remainder of that corner, which allowed you to come out of turn number 4 with the win.
Yeah.
Overall, this should help you in the points. I know Ben was the overall points leader coming into tonight, but I think you were leading 2 out of the 3 subdivisions for championships.
Yeah, I think so. And I had a rough week last week, so that sent me back more in the overall points. That's why I was really just coming here to win.
Well, it'll definitely help you out overall. Let's see, where are we racing next week? Let's see, next week, Southern National.
Oh, that should be interesting. I usually don't run very good there, so I guess I'll get some practice in.
That's another track with a lot of character. There are some bumps you got to watch out for.
Oh, yeah. I'm used to running that in a legend car, not so much in a late model, so we'll see.
All right, but anybody you'd like to give a shout out to tonight before we cut you loose?
Just my family, friends, and everybody for watching the race, and you for putting on a good show, and then everybody on the track for keeping it fun.
All right, bud. Well, thank you very much. We will catch you back next week, and we'll probably see you on the podium again.
That's the goal.
All right, bud. You have a good night.
You too.
All right, that's going to do it for us here at the EFRL All the Dirt, a super late model series. Larson Parker bringing home the win over Ben Morrow, Travis Lapenas, and Michael Steele. Tune back in Thursday night for our Dirt Car Series, and then back next Tuesday night for our doubleheader once again. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. Have a wonderful night, and thank you from all the dirt.